Today we're issuing our latest report on the Irish residential market, where we're reviewing the performance of the housing market over 2019 and looking to the likely outcomes for the year ahead. So in overall terms, the market was largely stable for owner-occupiers. First of all, in terms of transaction activities, the latest data we have is for the first 9 months, but that shows a very modest 4% growth in transaction activities across the entire marketplace. In terms of prices, we saw a very modest uplift, so 0.2% growth in the average price of properties in Ireland in 2019, a modest reduction in Dublin actually, just less than 1%, and a modest increase outside of Dublin where we saw prices grow by about 1.5%. So the overall environment was largely stable. When you look further into the transaction activity and you pull out the new homes data in particular, we see a contraction in the number of new home sales closings. So there was a contraction of 4% in Ireland, but a contraction of 20% in Dublin. So we've investigated this a little further, and it does appear to be that this, rather than a result of a reduction in demand, is a result of a log jam in the system where utilities are not being connected as quickly during last year as they had been the year before. The properties are being built, getting to sale agreed, but not actually closing as quickly as they had been doing in 2018. But it's definitely a trend we need to observe more carefully as we look into the year ahead. Finally, in terms of the lettings market, unfortunately, not a lot of stability there. So we're still seeing that very strong exodus of investors from the market, which is pulling down the stock of available rental properties and therefore strong upward pressure on rents. And that is a worrying trend. And without any change in policy, that is likely to persist into the year ahead. In overall terms for 2020, we're probably looking at a very similar year to 2019, assuming macroprudential policy stays the same as is predicted, and also that there's no significant change in government policy. Now, that may alter, obviously, in an election year. But as we begin the year, we are seeing a noticeable bounce in terms of consumer attention to the market, with viewing levels up and general activity up. And this is in line with that general bounce in consumer sentiment that we saw in the wider economy. So that is a trend we'll watch very carefully.